Every time we see a flying object in the skies, 99% of the populace, of the people, assume it came from outer space. This is absolutely wrong. It does not come from outer space. And I'm going to explain to you why and how and when UFOs appear in our mythology, in our history, and on Earth. UFO and USOs are the very same thing, because all they come from underwater. So UFOs are basically the USOs, and UFO came from various extraterrestrial civilizations, including Anunnaki. There were also the Lyran, there were also the Zetas, and extraterrestrial from Ashtari, Aldebaran, also known to us as Alpha Tauri.
European news outlets are anxious to report that there is something weird under the sea. They're using the term USO to describe the object. Speculation has even been proposed that what is under the water is a downed German flying saucer. Now, this is amazing. I was reading about this today. Someone had written that it was, I believe, there was a magazine, can't remember what website it was out, but there was a magazine in 1952, a magazine in Italy called Tempo. It published a 4-part article devoted to the German secret weapons of World War II. Luigi Romersa from Italy was the reporter. And he wrote that many of Germany's secret weapons were tested, get this, along the Baltic coast. You know, the Germans were doing their tests in the Baltic Sea of their flying saucers. Oddtech is a place that's seldom talked about. It is the Area 51 of the ocean. It's the Area 51 of the ocean. It's near the Bermuda Triangle, of all places. And what's interesting is all the artifacts that are underwater there, the Bermuda Triangle, are spoken of as well. They know that there's power in the ocean. They know these things. And when we're talking about intraterrestrials, as Max de Lafayette has brought up in our introduction, you start to see that there is a connection to water, bodies of water, water and aliens, water and the extraterrestrials. They descend from the sky, plunge into the sea, or they plunge into some inland lake. And this raises the question, do aliens find refuge in our ocean? Is that what makes them attracted to coming here, is the water? I know that Brad Steiger had speculated that if he wrote a book called Atlantis Rising, he had said that we could trace some of these stories to inner space, interdimensional beings, interspatial, interterrestrial beings, as Max has said. What we're looking at is we're looking at Atlantis, we're looking at the islands that sank below the waters. Our alien masters came from the water. Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft, wrote about Cthulhu. It's one of the first stories to rise up and speak of a malevolent serpentine extraterrestrial that came into the water and lived in the water and then came out of the water. And in fact, if you see the movie Prometheus, the movie Prometheus is very similar to the Mountain of Madness, which of course is about exploration to Antarctica, Argentina, and all the areas where this whole alleged alien or extraterrestrial thing is supposed to be rampant.
Ocean X team returns from their first expedition investigating the mysterious object they discovered in the Baltic Sea. The expedition was supposed to provide answers, but instead yielded yet more questions. It has also broadened the minds of those involved.
Well, we have experienced things that I really couldn't imagine, because I have been the team's biggest skeptic. I was kind of prepared of finding just a stone. For me, it has been an amazing experience, I must say.
The team were completely dwarfed by the mysterious object, which is about 60 meters in diameter and lying almost 80 meters down on the bottom of the Baltic Sea. There are visible formations on top of the object which are set at a 90-degree angle and look like passageways or walls, as well as something that looks like it could be a staircase. The divers also found a hole about 25 centimeters in diameter, though it is not yet known where it leads. In addition, they found circular forms of small rocks that appear to have been placed like a pearl necklace. Geologists who follow the work haven't been able to explain what it is yet. Alongside the mystery, there were also many difficulties.
We looked at our dive computer and it said -1 degree. That's pretty cold for a dive, and it should really be impossible to have that cold water, because it actually turns into ice at 0 degrees. But that could be explained by the movement of the water.
Also, some strange phenomenon occurred. A main objective of the dive was to film the object, and yet the camera stopped working when they approached the object.
Why isn't anything working, anything electrical? And the satellite phone we have as well stopped working when we were above the object. And when we got away for about 200 meters, it turned on again. And when we got back over the object, it didn't work. So that's kind of strange as well.
Mr. Hågeborn says he has never experienced anything like this during his 20 years as a professional diver. Dennis Åsberg of the Ocean X team is 100% sure after the first expedition that they have found something quite unusual.
Ja, så jag är 100% övertygad.
I'm 100% convinced and confident that we have found something that is very, very, very unique. Then, if it is a meteorite or an asteroid or a volcano, or a base from, say, a U-boat from the Cold War which has been manufactured and placed there, yes. Or if it is a UFO, well honestly, it has to be something.
Ja, alltså jag är helt ärligt. Någonting är det.
Lab results will be forthcoming, and the second expedition is already planned to depart in 2 weeks. Ocean X team hope that a geology specialist will join the next expedition. Cecilia Svensson, NTD News, Stockholm, Sweden.
Next thing is that I want you to listen to this very fascinating, because the government has all these microphones in the ocean and trying to capture sounds. Now, why would they do that? Why do you think the government would have all these things under in the ocean? Right? For earthquakes? I don't think so. We already have that. What is it then? For animals? Do they want to listen to the whales? I don't think so either. I think it's more that they want to see, capture some type of sounds, extraterrestrials, in this case, intraterrestrials. Because we already know that aliens live, and I'm saying aliens because I can't say extraterrestrials, because extraterrestrials mean they're out of the earth, intraterrestrials inside the earth, so I'm just going to say aliens, okay? These aliens live on the earth, inside the earth, but some of them, we have a lot of proof that they live in the ocean, they're able to go inside the ocean. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is the government found these sounds inside the ocean, and this happened in 1997. Let me see if I can find. Let me just give you a little quote, reading a little quote here, but the link is going to be under more info, so you can read it all about it. It's let me just see, it's called The Bloop. It says, during 1997, U.S. undersea monitoring equipment heard a series of sounds far louder than any whale song. They were never heard again. And goes on and on to tell you about the sounds. But I'm going to give you, I recorded it, and I want you to listen to it, the sounds. Yes, I know, you know what they are. They are beings living in the ocean. You already know that. We live in a holographic universe. We live in parallel universe. So there are people in and I don't mean people, humans, but there's other species living among us, and they make sounds. There's things going on. That's why we are becoming so, that veil is becoming so thin. This is why people hear noises. You remember those sounds that we hear in all around the world? I'm going to do a separate video, okay? So that you know what is really happening. So there will be a separate video about strange sounds around the world, okay? Now, why am I saying this? Listen to these sounds, and they sound just like those sounds. I heard them at least 3 times. I wish I recorded them the other times, and it was very strange because that same night, the second night, the first night, actually the first time was not a night, it was like 3 in the afternoon, but the second time was like 3 in the 4 in the morning. The lights went out in the whole area, and I slept in the car. We went to sleep in the car, and that's when I heard the noises. Now, listen to the sounds that the government was captured from inside the ocean, okay? And they are baffled. They don't know what the heck it is. They're trying to figure out what it is. They don't know what it is either, but don't worry, because the government and all the people in charge of the world, they are just like us. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And they know that we're entering 4th dimension. They know the changes are coming. They know all that stuff. Believe me, I'm going to give you little things that I found out that you're going to find out too now through me. There's little signs that let us know that they know, you know, the people in charge, the big brothers here, they know what is happening. So just listen to these sounds, okay? Okay, here comes the first one. Listen to the sounds, the first one, okay? It's inside the ocean, the sound. Now the next sound, the government, you're going to have the link in there so you can read the link. They say this sounds like an airplane. You know the motor of a plane? That's what it sounds like, and that's exactly what people have been listening to around the world. They sound like airplanes. Now listen to it, and you'll agree with me with this one. That one, right? It sounded just like those sounds that people be listening around the world. And I'm going to give you the link. You can check out the link, but I'm going to do a separate video to show you and put together the sounds that people be listening to around the world, and these sounds that come from the inside the ocean, okay? Except now they're coming from all around. The ones that I heard, it sounded like coming from the sky, okay? And some people heard it from the ocean too, so listen to it again. Into video 2, I'll continue video 3.
These events are related to the intraterrestrial. The term intraterrestrial is composed of 2 words. in Latin intra, which means from within, side, and terrestrial from terrestre, from the Latin, which means earth.